Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Schultz with the Centennial Schultz Clinic. I thought we'd have a little fun today. You know, summer's here and we're having fun. Some of us are going out to the beach. Some of us are going to the pool. And with that, we have the opportunity to get our feet and our toes ready. So today what we're going to be talking about is Morton's Toe. I'm going to share an image with you, so bear with me so everyone has a good understanding of what I'm talking about. So hopefully you can see now Morton's Toe. This is it, beautiful red if you like red. Morton's Toe, in appearance, is a elongated or longer, disproportionately longer second toe rather than the first. So what we're going to do today is kind of understand, Mom, why was my second toe longer? So we're going to do some basic anatomy first, and after this you'll get a good understanding about Morton's Toe, the symptoms, the causes, the treatment, and the difference between Morton's Toe and Morton's Neuroma. So this is the foot, and the foot is composed of 26 different bones, and I will not confuse you or profess to teach you this. But if you just take from here back and call this the talus and other parts, and then this moving forward, these are your toes. This is what you see at the swimming pool. This is what you see at the beach. And what I want you to pay attention to are the metatarsal bones here. They're these long, elongated bones, and they are here. They connect the hindfoot to the toes. And what I've done for simplicity is I've wrapped up the toe joint. Now the joint itself is composed of a couple different joints, but what you see on the skin is basically covered here in blue. And you can see automatically that this second toe is a little bit longer. So I did this on purpose. I manipulated this model. So let's take a deeper look on the bulletin board. So again, today what we're going to be talking about is Morton's Toe. And these are the metatarsals. And there's 4. So they connect the hind foot to the toes. And the toes, just like I showed before, are in blue. Now, what can happen is there is a short metatarsal on the first toe, which then by necessity throws off the anatomy, and every daughter is asking her mom, hey mom, why do I have a second long toe? The underlying problem is the first metatarsal is actually short in relationship to the other, which then gives rise to a long second toe. So some of the causes of Morton's Toe, you're born with it. You also can have surgery and have a surgical resection. You also can have radiation. Now, the typical symptoms of Morton's Toe is pain at the first or second metatarsal. Right there, the second or third metatarsal. Second or third metatarsal, right at the base. You also can have some pain in the arch. So what are the consequences of this short metatarsal, the number 1 in relationship to number 2? Well, as you can imagine, for those people that are engineers, you know it has to change the biomechanics. So the pressure now is typically placed predominantly on this first digit. But because of the short metatarsal, there's a shift, if you will. Let's put that in green. There's a shift in the pressure to the other parts of the feet. And what that can do is it can actually spread these toes, and it actually can bring these two a little bit closer, so you actually can get compression of the metatarsal heads. And this will be important in a minute. In addition, you can have what's called pronation, or changes in gait. Now let's talk about the treatment. First and foremost, conservative therapy. Conservative therapy in the form of physical therapy, strengthening of the muscles. You might have an orthotic. You absolutely need to have a shoe, not a Prada, but a shoe with a wide box so these splay toes can get appropriate place. If left in a tight shoe, this second disproportionately, what appears to be disproportionately long toe can get a callus. What else can happen? Well, as a result of this compression, you can get some irritation. So the other part of today is Morton's toe is not Morton's Neuroma. So while we're here and we're having a little bit of a lesson, let's talk about a neuroma. A neuroma is simply an inflammation and growth around a nerve. And this can be a consequence, a Morton's neuroma can be a consequence of the Morton's toe, because as these toes splay out, you can get compression of the metatarsal heads. Well, we know that in between each of the metatarsals is a nerve, and nerves are very fragile. You don't want to irritate a nerve, but with the splaying out of the foot as a result of the Morton's toe, you can get irritation of this, and that's exactly what a Morton's neuroma is. It's an irritation of the plantar nerve between the metatarsals. The other thing that can cause a neuroma is a thickening of the ligaments, which hold the nerve in place. So the treatment is similar to a Morton toe. It is conservative therapy. You first start with physical therapy. You start with an orthotic. You may have a pad. And surgery is never recommended. And we are consummate experts here at the Centennial Schultz Clinic with ultrasound. You can actually see a nerve under ultrasound, and we've been able to successfully identify a neuroma under ultrasound and treat it. Treatment options include prolotherapy, which is the injection of an irritant, sugar typically, or PRP. So, Morton's toe, Morton's neuroma. Both cause pain at the second toe. Morton's toe is a result of a congenital, typically, short first metatarsal, which then gives rise to the appearance of a long second toe. Morton's neuroma is an inflammation of the nerve as a result, in part, due to metatarsal compression. It can be treated effectively with conservative therapy. It also can be treated non-surgically using ultrasound guidance. Well, now that we're at beach season, I hope this was helpful. I hope you all get to the pedicure place of your choice now that some places are opening. If you found this helpful, please follow us on Facebook or Instagram. If you have a friend who has Morton's neuroma, please share this video with them. And until next time, be well, be safe. We'll see you soon.